They call me the father of the nation, but in the winter of 1776, looking at my freezing soldiers, I didn't feel like a father. I felt like a failure.
He defeated the British Empire. He refused the crown. But what was the cost? Welcome to episode 1. General, welcome to the 21st century. Let's cut the pleasantries. History books treat you like a god, a marble statue that can do no wrong. Does that annoy you?
It amuses me. Marble is cold, hard. I was quite human. I had a temper. I made mistakes. I lost more battles than I won, you know.
Wait, hold on. You lost more than you won? But you're the ultimate winner.
We survived. That is different from winning. You see the victory parade? I remember the retreat from New York, running for our lives.
Let's talk about that. Valley Forge. No shoes, no food. Today, if the internet goes down for an hour, we panic. You had men eating leather to survive. Be honest. Did you ever think about quitting? Just packing up and going back to Mount Vernon?
Quitting every single day.
Really? The George Washington wanted to quit?
I wrote a letter to my cousin, Lund Washington. I told him, I have never been in such an unhappy, divided state since I was born. I had the resignation letter in my mind a dozen times. Why stay when your own Congress won't send you food?
So why didn't you? What stopped you?
Because if I left, the army dissolves. If the army dissolves, the idea of America dies. I stayed because I was the only glue holding the rags together.
That's a heavy burden for one man.
Leadership is not a crown, son. It is a cross you carry.
General, let's talk about your farewell address. You gave a very specific warning to the future of America. You warned us against political parties. You basically predicted they would destroy the country. Well,
I didn't predict it. I saw it beginning even in my time. Jefferson and Hamilton, two brilliant men, tearing each other apart. I told them that the spirit of party is the worst enemy of a government.
well, I have bad news. It got worse. Today we are split down the middle, red versus blue. If you vote for one side, the other side thinks you are evil. It's almost tribal.
Tribal, yes. That is exactly what I feared. When a man becomes more loyal to his party than to his country, the republic is in danger. You are no longer citizens. You are just soldiers in a political army.
But General, be realistic. How can a democracy function without parties? People have different opinions. We need distinct groups to organize those opinions, don't we?
Difference of opinion is healthy. Debate is necessary. But what you have today is not debate. It is vengeance. One side wins, so they punish the other. Then the other side wins and punishes back. It is a pendulum of revenge. That is not democracy. That is a slow suicide.
It feels like that sometimes. We call it polarization. People don't even talk to their neighbors anymore if they have a different political sign in their yard.
Then you are already fighting a civil war. You just haven't started shooting yet. A nation that cannot talk to itself cannot save itself.
That's a scary thought. If you were president today, right now, and you walked into Congress with everyone screaming at each other, what is the first thing you would do?
I would lock the doors. I would take away their microphones. And I would tell them, no one leaves this room until you remember that you serve the people, not your ego. We compromised in 1787 to write the Constitution. Nobody got everything they wanted. That is the point.
Compromise is seen as weakness today.
Compromise is the only strength that holds a free people together. Without it, you just have a king or a mob. Take your pick.
General, I have to ask about the end of the war, 1783. You had the entire army behind you. The people worshipped you. You could have easily been King George I of America. And frankly, nobody would have stopped you.
Some of my officers wanted exactly that. They were angry. They hadn't been paid by Congress. They wanted me to march the army into Philadelphia and take control by force.
And in history, that's usually what happens. Caesar, Napoleon. They all took the power when they had the chance. Why didn't you? Be honest. Were you not tempted? Just a little?
I am human. Of course, the thought crosses your mind. Absolute control. The power to ensure the country is run correctly without arguing with Congress. It is a seductive whisper.
So how did you kill that whisper? Most men can't. Most men spend their whole lives trying to get more power, not less.
Because I knew that if I took that crown, every drop of blood spilled in the revolution would have been a lie. We fought to destroy the idea that one man should rule. If I became king, I would have become the very thing I fought to destroy.
That sounds noble, but look at politicians today. They cling to power until they are 80, sometimes 90 years old. They refuse to let go. They think the world will collapse without them.
That is vanity. Pure vanity. They believe they are indispensable. Let me tell you a secret. No man is indispensable. If your system relies on one specific man to survive, your system is already broken.
People say that when King George III heard you were going to resign and go home to your farm, he said, if he does that, he will be the greatest man in the world. Did you feel great?
I didn't feel great. I felt relief. I just wanted to sit under my own vine and fig tree. The best feeling I ever had wasn't winning a battle. It was waking up the morning after I resigned, realizing I was just a citizen again, free.
But then we dragged you back. We made you president.
Reluctantly, I went because the country was falling apart again. But I made sure of one thing. I would not serve for life. I walked away again after 2 terms. To show the world that power can be transferred peacefully.
And that tradition held for over 100 years. You set the standard.
I hope you can keep it.
General, we are almost out of time. Before you go, I want to do a rapid-fire round. Quick questions, quick answers. Ready?
I am ready. Proceed.
First one, a huge rumor on the internet today. Did you really have wooden teeth?
Wood? No, that is a myth. They were made of hippopotamus ivory, brass, and, unfortunately, other human teeth. They were miserable. They fit poorly and hurt constantly. You are lucky to have modern dentists.
Second question. You fought with muskets and cannons. If you saw a modern fighter jet or a nuclear weapon today, what would you think?
I would be terrified. In my time, war was personal. You looked a man in the eye before you shot him. Now, you can destroy a city by pressing a button from the other side of the world? When killing becomes that easy, humanity is in trouble.
Fair point. Third question. Your face is on the $1 bill, the most used currency in the world. How does that feel?
It is ironic. I spent most of the war begging Congress for money, and now my face is on it. I just hope the people spending it understand the value of what it represents, not just what it buys.
Last question regarding the future. If you could see America 200 years from now, are you optimistic?
I am cautiously hopeful. But remember, no republic has lasted forever. Rome fell. Greece fell. If you stop being vigilant, you will fall too.
That leads to my final request. There are millions of young people watching this. They feel lost. They feel like the system is broken. Look into that camera and give them one final order.
Do not wait for a hero to save you. I was just a surveyor from Virginia. I was just a farmer. But when history called, I stood up. You are the guards of this liberty. It is a fragile flame. The wind is blowing hard right now. Shield it. Protect it. Because if this light goes out here, it goes out everywhere.
General George Washington, thank you for your service, then and now.
The honor was mine. Farewell.
What a conversation. That was the man who started it all. But next week, we are going to talk to the man who had to fix it when it all broke apart. He fought a war not against a king, but against his own brothers. Subscribe and turn on notifications.